In the year 2000, Blockbuster Video was untouchable. With 9,000 stores across North America, a market valuation of $4.8 billion, and lines of customers renting VHS tapes and DVDs every single Friday night, Blockbuster wasn't just a business. It was an institution. The company generated $5.9 billion in annual revenue. Its late fees alone, averaging $40 per customer per year, were a profit goldmine. Wall Street loved it, investors loved it, and most importantly, the American public loved it. Everyone was visiting their local store. But in that same year, a small Silicon Valley startup was about to launch something radical: Netflix. Founded by Reed Hastings and Mark Randolph, the company's premise was almost laughably simple. Rent DVDs by mail. No late fees, no due dates, just pay a monthly subscription and keep movies as long as you wanted. To Blockbuster's leadership, Netflix wasn't a threat. It was a joke. Why would anyone wait 3 days for a movie when they could walk into a Blockbuster in 3 minutes? Why pay $20 a month for convenience when you could rent individual movies for $3? But here's the question that changes everything. What if Blockbuster's CEO had seen something his competitors missed? What if, instead of dismissing Netflix as a quirky niche play, Blockbuster had simply bought them? Today, we're exploring an alternate reality where one decision in 2000 rewrites the history of entertainment. Act 1. The moment of decision. To understand why this decision matters, we need to understand the pressure Blockbuster's leadership was facing in 2000, even if they didn't fully realize it. Blockbuster had just gone through a major transition. In 1997, the company had been acquired by Viacom, the media giant. Viacom, the giant behind MTV and Paramount Pictures, valued Blockbuster at $4.8 billion, a staggering sum that reflected the company's apparent invincibility. But by 2000, cracks were forming. The store expansion had slowed. Same-store sales growth was decelerating. The dot-com boom was raging. Wall Street was obsessed with digital disruption. Every analyst report whispered the same question: how long until online retail destroys physical retail? Blockbuster's answer? They tried to go digital themselves. In 1997, Blockbuster had launched Blockbuster Online, a website where customers could order DVDs. But the execution was terrible. The website was slow. The shipping model didn't make economic sense. The company's supply chain was built for retail stores, not mail delivery. Most customers abandoned it after a few clicks. The giant was struggling to adapt to the new digital landscape. Enter John Antioco, Blockbuster's CEO from 1997 onwards. Antioco was smart. He understood that retail was changing. He understood that the internet was coming. But he faced an enormous strategic question. Should Blockbuster cannibalize its own 9,000-store empire by investing in mail delivery? His answer was no. In public, Antioco dismissed Netflix. He called the mail rental model economically unfeasible. The shipping costs make it impossible, he told analysts. No one will wait 3 days for a movie when they can get it instantly. The industry headlines reflected this sentiment of stability. But here's what our alternate history changes. What if Antioco had done the math differently? Let's imagine Antioco receives a different pitch from his strategy team. Not "let's compete with Netflix," but "let's own Netflix." The logic was compelling and potentially revolutionary for the brand. Netflix was burning through cash. The company had raised $30 million in venture capital and was losing money on every rental. Most analysts predicted it would collapse within 5 years. The company's valuation in early 2000, only $80 million. A tiny fraction of Blockbuster's resources. For Blockbuster, acquiring Netflix would cost pocket change. $80 to $150 million was less than 2% of Blockbuster's market cap. It was less than what Blockbuster spent on store renovations in a single year. But the strategic logic was even deeper than the financial comparison. Antioco realized something. Netflix wasn't a threat to stores. Netflix was a complement to stores. Here was the insight. Blockbuster didn't need to choose between physical and digital. It could own both. They could capture every segment of the movie-watching public with a single brand. Some customers, like Sarah, wanted to walk into a store and grab a movie immediately. Blockbuster owned that segment completely, but other customers, like Michael, wanted convenience. They wanted a huge selection without driving to a store. They didn't mind waiting 2 days. This segment was growing. Netflix had built a model for Michael, but Netflix couldn't scale without massive capital. Blockbuster had both capital and scale. In cities with Blockbuster stores, customers could use either channel. In rural areas without stores, Netflix becomes our distribution mechanism. We're consolidating the entire rental market. The board approves. Blockbuster acquires Netflix for $120 million, a steal compared to what the company would eventually be worth. Netflix becomes Blockbuster Online, but with something it never had before: capital, scale, and distribution. The alternate future begins to take shape. Act 2. The alternate future. What happens next is where the alternate timeline truly diverges. The first 2 years are messy. Integration is always messy. Blockbuster's store-focused culture clashes with Netflix's tech-focused culture. There are turf wars between departments and arguments over shipping costs. But Hastings and Randolph stay on as co-presidents of Blockbuster Online. They have board protection in the acquisition deal, and crucially, they have capital that Netflix never had as an independent company. This allows them to expand rapidly across the nation. By 2003, Blockbuster Online has 1 million subscribers. By 2004, 2 million. By 2005, 4 million. Not because Blockbuster Online is better than Netflix, but because Blockbuster's existing customer base migrated to it. Customers who wanted convenience could now subscribe online. Access was universal. Blockbuster doesn't cannibalize its own stores because it doesn't force customers to choose. It gives them both options. The stores adapt. Instead of renting individual movies for $3, stores become fulfillment centers where Blockbuster Online subscribers can pick up movies, return them, or reserve upcoming releases. Same-store sales drop, but that's intentional. The margin per customer actually increases because the customer is now paying $15 a month instead of renting individual movies. Then, in 2006, something shifts in the world. Broadband adoption crosses a critical threshold. High-speed internet becomes mainstream. High-speed internet, which was rare in 2000, is now standard in 60% of American homes. Netflix executives, remember they're now inside Blockbuster, see the future clearly. They pitch an idea to the board. What if we stopped shipping physical DVDs? What if we streamed movies directly to customers' computers? In our real timeline, this idea originated at Netflix in 2006, and Netflix pursued it aggressively. But here's the problem Netflix faced. Streaming required content. Netflix had to negotiate with studios. Studios were terrified of piracy and skeptical of digital distribution. Netflix had limited leverage as a rental company. But in our alternate timeline, Netflix is no longer independent. Netflix is owned by Blockbuster. And Blockbuster is owned by Viacom. Viacom owns Paramount Pictures. Suddenly, Blockbuster has leveraged studios' respect. It can offer content deals that include both physical and digital distribution. It can promise massive scale. Online already has 4 million customers. Studios see an opportunity to reach a massive audience through a trusted, established brand. In 2007, Blockbuster announces Blockbuster Stream, a subscription service that combines digital streaming with mail-order DVDs. For $9.99 a month, customers get unlimited streaming. Customers get the ability to maintain their mail subscription for rare releases, in-store rental discounts, and priority access to exclusive Blockbuster originals produced in partnership with Viacom. The service explodes in adoption, not because it's revolutionary, streaming is just beginning, but because it's a trusted brand. The hybrid model doesn't force people to choose between physical and digital. By 2010, Blockbuster Stream has 25 million subscribers. By 2012, 40 million. By 2015, it's the largest streaming service in the world. Netflix still exists, but it's competing as a pure-play streaming company without content leverage. Blockbuster's market valuation climbs to $100 billion. The original $120 million investment in Netflix turns into a $50 billion asset. Shareholders who believed in Antiocho's vision have made 400x returns. Business schools teach Blockbuster as the perfect case study of absorbed disruption. Act 3. why this didn't happen. But this isn't what happened in real life. In the actual timeline, when Antioco was presented with Netflix, he said no. His reasoning? The mail rental model was economically inferior to retail stores. Shipping costs made it uncompetitive. Physical locations would always win. He wasn't wrong, at least not about the economics at that moment. The math of 2000 favored stores over mail, but Antioco was optimizing for the wrong future. What Antioco didn't account for was exponential change. He was thinking linearly, mail rental will always cost more than retail. He wasn't thinking about broadband. He wasn't thinking about how streaming would change entertainment entirely. Netflix, by contrast, was thinking exponentially. Reed Hastings had read The Innovator's Dilemma. He understood that disruption doesn't come from doing the same thing better. It comes from companies doing something completely different. Netflix was willing to abandon the DVD rental business, even when it was profitable, to chase streaming. Blockbuster wasn't. By 2007, when Netflix launched streaming, it had momentum. By 2010, Netflix had 20 million subscribers. By 2015, 65 million. Meanwhile, Blockbuster was hemorrhaging stores. In 2010, Blockbuster declared bankruptcy. Its parent company, Viacom, wrote down $1.4 billion in goodwill. The last store closed in 2014 in Bend, Oregon. Netflix? By 2020, Netflix was worth $200 billion. The gap between the two timelines? A single decision in 2000. The cost? $80 to $150 million. The lesson isn't that Blockbuster was stupid. Antioco was intelligent. His team was intelligent. They made logical decisions based on the information they had. The lesson is about the danger of incremental thinking in a world of exponential change. It's a cautionary tale for every legacy industry. Outro. What if Blockbuster had bought Netflix in 2000? We'd probably be paying $9.99 a month for Blockbuster Stream right now. The company would be worth $150 to $200 billion, and Netflix would be a regional player, not a household name. This alternate history reveals something true about the world. The companies that survive disruption aren't the ones that defend their old business model. They're the ones willing to cannibalize it before someone else does. Netflix understood this. It sacrificed near-term profits for long-term dominance. Blockbuster wasn't willing to make that sacrifice. It defended the past. The scariest competitor isn't the one attacking you. It's the one willing to destroy their own business model to win the next war. Thanks for watching. If you found this alternate history interesting, please like and subscribe. And let me know in the comments, what other business decisions would you change if you could? Background music continues at a contemplative pace. Final credits scroll slowly over the Dallas skyline. The journey of disruption never ends. See you next time. Closing music swells to the 10-minute mark to ensure full duration as requested by the user.